Here he comes. He's going to put his rubbish in the bin.
He feels really wiry and really coarse, and he's quite strong and stocky, but at the same time he's only little.
We've got the vets coming down just to check an abscess just here on her ankle.
Over at Sea Lion Shores, the New Zealand fur seals are gearing up for a special encounter to celebrate World Environment Day.
Hey, how you going? Come on through.
A local school group has arrived to learn more about marine conservation and caring for the environment.
Well, welcome to Auckland Zoo. My name's Andrew. I'm one of the keepers here at the zoo. And today's a very special day, isn't it? It's World Environment Day today. And that's a day where we like to try our best to remind people how to look after the environment.
Behind the scenes, Prideland's team leader Nat is nervously preparing to assist. Nat dreams of being able to dive in the open ocean with her favourite animal, the shark. But she has an inconvenient fear of seals and sea lions to overcome first. Last week, she met the residents of Sea Lion Shores on land, but today Nat's diving in at the deep end.
So even though I'm a little bit anxious about actually getting in there and diving with the sea lions, I mean, it's all to do, hopefully, so I can help with shark conservation in the future. So I just got to remind myself of that when I start getting freaked out underwater.
Before Nat takes the plunge, Scuttles helps with some important conservation messages.
Now I need a volunteer. A bit closer, a bit closer. Okay, now chuck them in the water. Here he comes. Have a look. I'll make sure I get out of your way. He's going to put his rubbish in the bin. He's a very, very smart animal. If Scuttle can put his rubbish in the bin, so can we. How's that?
Scuttles is hyped and ready for his underwater encounter, even if Nat's not.
I don't mind him coming towards me, but having his teeth so close to me and I can't really see what his teeth are doing, it's a little bit unnerving.
Above the water, Nat can keep a close eye on Scuttles and his teeth. But with the kids on the way down to the viewing window, Nat must face her fears and follow Scuttles to the depths of the pool. Down here, the sea lions are in their element, able to chase prey at speeds of up to 40 kilometres an hour. But Nat must put her fears aside, with 50 pairs of eyes watching and a very hungry sea lion to contend with.
Here she goes, she's trying to find a piece of squid. Pretty impressive, eh? A little bit worried about her fingers there, but Scuttle's very, very good. He's nice and gentle. He knows what your hand is, he knows what the piece of fish is.
Nat can't hear what's going on outside the window, but she has a captivated audience, giving Andrew a chance to remind them of the importance of looking after the ocean environment.
That's how the ocean works. Every animal, be it a starfish, a crab, or a big whale, or a fish, have all got an important role to play in the ocean. Look at Scuttle, he's having a good time.
Before Nat knows it, the fish have run out and it's time to head up for some air.
Wow! How was that?
That was really, really cool. Hi, buddy.
Good voice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was neat him down there, and I actually felt really comfortable down there. And yeah, I might even go so far as to say it was enjoyable.
Nat's next goal is to take her newfound confidence into the open ocean and hopefully see some sharks. A world away from Auckland Zoo in Southeast Asia and deep in the home of some of the world's most unique and endangered animals, primate keepers Amy and Carly are finding their feet.
Here we are in the jungle in the middle of Sumatra in Indonesia. We're about 9 hours drive from the nearest town. And Carly and I are here at the Sumatran Orangutan Conservation Project, and we're here to share our expertise, but we're also here to gain some experience. So right now we're really excited. We're off to meet some of the cute little baby orangutans that live here.
Set in the middle of the Bukit Tigapulu National Park is the Sumatran Orangutan Conservation Program. The Sumatran jungle is shrinking thanks to logging and palm oil plantations. Adult orangutans are routinely killed by loggers and palm oil farmers, and the newly orphaned babies are sold into the illegal pet trade. The lucky ones are rescued and brought here.
Baby.
Hello.
Hello, wee ones.
How are you?
For Amy and Carly, it's a rare chance to come face to face with a creche full of wild-born babies, who by the looks of things are just as keen to see some interesting new faces.
Look at that fat tummy.
But for Amy, it's a bittersweet introduction to some of the very real and tragic stories.
These beautiful little orangutan babies here in the big cages are all orphans. So these guys have all been taken from their mothers at a very young age through conflict with people, possibly to do with palm oil and logging. So they've all watched their mothers be murdered, and then they've been taken away, chained up, and eventually confiscated. And they're held in these cages until they're released back into the wild. If it wasn't for this place, these guys wouldn't get a chance to go back into the wild, and also a lot of other orangutans. They'd be probably left to die on the side of the road, they'd be chained up, they'd be kept as people's pets, used for entertainment, for all sorts of hideous things that you can't even imagine. So even though these cage setups don't look ideal, they're only temporary, they're only here for a short time, and the ultimate goal for these guys is to be put back into the wild.
The staff are keen to get Amy and Carly involved in the program as soon as possible, and that starts with an up-close and personal introduction.
Hexus?
And jelly. Oh, hello.
Auckland Zoo has a hands-off policy with all of its primates, so holding a baby orangutan is a special treat.
He feels really wiry and really coarse, and he's quite strong and stocky, but at the same time he's only little, but he's all arms and legs and clingy hands. He's lovely. Oh, what? Oh, what? The plan for these two is to release them back into the wild fairly soon, so it's going to be really exciting.
In the wild, Hexus and Angeli would be with their mothers until they were 7 years old, so at 3 years of age it's a big ask to expect them to fend for themselves. They'll need all the help that they can get.
So our job now is to go away and think of some behavioural enrichment that is really going to help develop the skills that they'll need in the forest, like climbing and just decision-making skills and coordination and that kind of things. In the meantime, it's just been really cool to be able to have a cuddle with them. They're really wriggly, and I don't think they're too interested in us. All they care about is food.
But Amy and Carly will have to think of new ways to hold the baby's attention if they're to teach them how to survive on their own before they're released back into the wild in a few days' time. It's a favourite time of day for the animals at Auckland Zoo. But 3 hours north is a completely different animal kingdom. Just offshore from the sleepy village of Turakaka is the world-renowned Poor Knights Marine Reserve. It's the perfect spot to fulfil the ambition of open water diving for Prideland's keeper Nat. The Poor Knights has been a protected marine reserve for over 30 years, and the underwater life here is in a league of its own. The islands are known for their steep cliffs that can plunge 100 metres below sea level, creating underwater caves and tunnels where Nat is hoping she'll come face to face with the larger residents of the Great Deep.
I've really become passionate about shark conservation after hearing the amount that have been dying. 100 million a year are being slaughtered for shark fin soup, and I'm just trying to find a way to help. There's going to be some cool stuff down there.
Hey, any hope we'll see some fur seals, eh? Throw some sea lions?
Sure.
You'll be right, mate.
Here we go.
And with that, Nat slowly descends into an underwater world she's never seen before. Nat and Laurel venture through the famous underwater tunnels, past dark ledges, into a whole new world of strange and wonderful subtropical fish. Although there's no sign of Nat's beloved sharks, the myriads of fish hitching a ride on the warm East Auckland current lure the zookeepers deeper into their world.
Wow, that was amazing. Yeah, saw some scorpion fish, which were really cool. They're like rocks that sort of didn't move. Just the colours are amazing. Marine conservation is so important. The earth is covered with so much water, so many oceans and things, and if we don't conserve what's happening down here, then you know, we're not gonna survive on land either. It's so interconnected.
With air still in her tank, Nat takes a final dip. And although the sharks remain elusive, today's dive has certainly left a big impression.
The stingray was absolutely amazing. There's a couple of them down there, and they were just really happy just to chill out while I was sort of, you know, up quite close and having a good look around. And yeah, amazing seeing the barbs on the tails, and yeah, very cool. Well, that was a fantastic day. Unfortunately, there were no sharks to be seen, but that's what happens when you work with animals. So that's okay. I'm going to be back, and when I come back next time, I'm going to see some shark, hopefully.
The rain has set in at Auckland Zoo. At the orangutan enclosure, Milua takes shelter as her 4-year-old son Madju looks to her for some warmth and comfort. But over 7,000 kilometres from Auckland, deep in the Sumatran jungle, the young orphaned orangutans are not lucky enough to have the warm sanctuary of their mother's arms. Auckland keepers Amy and Carly have come to Sumatra to help rehabilitate these babies, and it's going to take more than a monsoon to dampen their spirits. They're ripping into a meal with a difference. For the 2 young orangutans, they're preparing to release back into the wild.
Carly and I are preparing some behavioural enrichment for Hexus and Angeli this morning, and what we've got is a giant termite nest. So this is what orangutans like to eat in the wild. They go out, they climb trees, and they find these nests and they break them apart and they fish out all the little termites. So it's really important that we're giving them this, because when they are released, then they're going to have to find this on their own. There's not much around, obviously, in the middle of the Sumatran jungle, so we're using what we can. We're going to make little bundles. We've brought some carabiners and clips with us, and we're going to tie it all up into little parcels, hang it high, and really encourage them to climb and use their arms and legs like they will need to when they get out into the wild.
Up at the baby creche, Hexus and Angeli are eagerly waiting for their breakfast.
Hello, little ones. Hello, look what we have. We have treats for you. Oh, Hexus.
But perhaps they weren't expecting it to be served in old sheets.
And I hope Angeli and Hexus get a lot of fun out of this, because they need the practice.
Look at her, she's
Don't you miss Angeli?
Oh, it's a bit scary, isn't it? Can you see?
These food bundles are designed to encourage the youngsters to forage for their food. In the wild, Angeli's mother would have taught her these skills. Without Mum, breakfast presented in this new way might be just too much of a challenge.
Might be up to us to show them if they're not brave enough, because little Angeli here doesn't quite look like she's ready for it. Hey, you look a little bit shy and scared. You are right.
While Angeli clings anxiously to Amy, Carly manages to convince a more confident Hexus to have a go.
Good boy. There you go. No. There we go. Good man. Look, Angeli. Good man, Hexus.
Oh, look at him. Oh, he got it in the eyes. Oh, sweetheart.
Uh-oh.
He got it in your eyeballs. That's okay.
A face full of termites does nothing for Hexus's confidence, and without a mother figure, he rushes to Carly for reassurance.
You're going to have to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah.
You want to have another turn?
His natural curiosity outweighs his fear, and he gives the enrichment a second attempt, this time with more success.
Yeah, this time he's figured it out.
Yeah.
But Angeli still hasn't left surrogate mum Amy's side.
Hold on to here. Hold on to there.
That's it.
Clever boy.
Hexus looks to be getting into the swing of things.
Okay.
but they both need to learn how to solve problems on their own if they're to survive in the wild. So Amy and Carly decide to leave them to it.
Isn't it great to see how much more active they are now that we're out of the cage?
Yeah.
They're not clinging on to us anymore.
Yeah, we're a bad influence.
Yeah.
I understand why they want to cling on to us and why they want that attention and that affection, because they don't have mothers to do that. So it's really nice for them to get that, but at the same time, they need to learn how to be independent and real orangutan. So it's good for us to step back outside the cage and not have that influence over them and really let them be brave and have fun.
After the initial surprise, the plan works, and it isn't long before even cautious Angeli gets into the swing of things.
Just like a real grown-up orangutan. That's real cute. Look at him go. I think that went really well for a first go, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So hopefully if this rain stops, we'll take them out in the forest tomorrow so they can get some really hands-on climbing experience.
In the meantime, Hexus and Angeli can keep playing the day away, gaining important skills that they'll be needing in the jungle tomorrow.
Pajamas on the head.
The crowds are gathering to see zoo stars Burma and Kashin's display. And these Asian elephants love the experience as much as their fans.
And also looking to see if we can get Kashin's nice big cun to come down. Kind of looks like a giant piece of hubba bubba. That's Kashmir's big cun.
But even though Kashin is enjoying her familiar routine, her keepers are worried about her. She hasn't been her usual happy-go-lucky self, and her body is breaking out in sores, which don't seem to be showing any signs of healing. Her keeper Andrew has been close to Kashin for almost a decade, so he knows when something is amiss. For years, Kashin has been plagued by arthritis and problems with her feet. Her keepers have tried everything to make her comfortable, but walking seems to be getting harder every day. Now, there are more signs that things are just not right.
So I've got the vets coming down just to check some of her lesions that she's got along her back, but also she's broken out. There's an abscess just here on her ankle that the vets are also going to come and have a look at. Kashin, put you over.
Kashin is a sucker for a warm shower, and Andrew knows that this is just the trick to get her to lay down.
She's just a little bit stiff in those joints, and that's why she's just taking her time to lay over. But Kashin in her nature, she's also kind of makes things a bit more dramatic than they really are as well sometimes. Good girl. I tell you, if there's a bucket of food there, she'll do it in no time. Chot.
Andrew is keeping close to Kashin and monitoring every move she makes, because he's discovering ailments that he's never seen before.
With the skin condition, we've never really had it to this extent before. We've had biopsies taken from these little lesions that are running across her back, but also along the tops of her ears here. You know, when they're showing these sorts of sores or issues on the extremities, it's sort of, you wonder what's going on inside them, and if there's more going on than they're actually showing.
Kashin is just not her usual cheeky self. At 40 years old, she's no spring chicken, and along with her existing health problems, these new symptoms are causing the team real concern.
Oh, g'day, Richard.
Hi, Andrew.
Who's this, Cashy Bear?
Hey, Kashin. Hello.
Oh,
what have I got for you?
Skin biopsies were done yesterday, and as vet Richard arrives with the results, Andrew is hoping he'll be able to shed some light on what is ailing his gentle friend.
Well, I have got some news from the lab, just arrived this morning.
Yep.
So that biopsy that we took of her skin shows that she's got an infection with a thing called dermatophilus, usually associated with a lower immune system.
Richard is hoping Kashin's illness can be treated with penicillin, but he still needs to take some blood to make sure there's nothing more serious.
And that's all I need.
Here you go, monkey. Wasn't that bad, was it? Good girl. Here you go.
Kashin's placid temperament and a tasty snack make her the perfect patient, which is useful because Richard's not finished.
3 holes in the one.
Oh, right, okay. No, I don't think we should interfere with that because it's now got somewhere for the pus to escape.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, just keep it clean.
Kashin has skin irritations everywhere, and her body temperature is going up and down.
Like yesterday, she seemed
Yeah.
warmer actually. That's less hot than yesterday.
Yeah.
The other thing that we're dealing with now, which we haven't dealt with before, is this skin condition. I have never seen it quite as bad as it is right now, and so we're all very concerned.
Kashin, taha. Good girl, chook taha. There you go.
With more blood tests to come, the reasons behind Kashin's ill health are still a mystery.
I'm really worried about her as a keeper. You know, it's one of those things. It sounds really positive that we've got a treatment here that will hopefully work with her skin condition. You know, the thing is, if it doesn't work, she is an older elephant, and with the issues that she's got, it makes it very difficult to sort of find other resolutions to issues. So we're just not too sure where to go to from here. She is very, very special to everyone. And we've just got to do our best to make sure that she's comfortable.
Until the test results come back, Andrew won't be leaving Kashin's side.
We're just going to cross our fingers and hope for the best. Hey, keep an eye on ya. Do you want one in the mouth? There you go. Daddy, let's have a look. Put that in there. There you go, crazy girl. Okay.